Our first stop from Pasadena, California will be Tampa Bay, Florida. Tampa Bay is notorious for its thunder and lightning storms. Due to the hot, humid environment and sea breeze fronts of the bay in the Gulf of Mexico, Tampa is a well-known breeding ground for lightning strikes. Unfortunately, when there are these many lightning strikes, more civilians are prone to being fatally attacked by them. So what causes lightning? When heavier negatively charged particles sink to the bottom of a cloud, positively charged particles are allowed to move up. However, when these charges increase, a giant spark takes place, lightning. On occasions when there is ice or water present within clouds, the electric fields become even stronger. The clash between the cool sea breeze fronts and the humid environment of the Tampa Bay result in multiple lightning strikes throughout the day. The state of Florida, specifically Tampa, is famously known as the thunderstorm and lightning capital of North America. Being that Tampa is extremely lightning prone, multiple fatalities occur. The Tampa Bay Times had cited that on average, there have been 6 to 13 lightning strikes on a civilian per year. Lightning tends to strike areas or objects with a higher tendency to conduct electricity. This is why buildings are such easy targets. To reduce its chances of being struck, it's best to create low-energy buildings. There are also observed patterns of lightning strikes on more elevated areas of land and objects such as telephone poles, skyscrapers, trees, and so forth. The best alternative to ensure lightning safety is to avoid tall trees and various geographic features which have height, avoid bodies of water, avoid contact with electrical conductors, and to go inside a protected building or home as soon as possible. Now our next stop requires you to wear flowers in your hair because we're going to San Francisco. The San Francisco Bay is positioned at ground zero for sea level rise within the state of California. Rising sea levels pose a great threat to the city and the bay because it would be trapped in a bowl-like state if there were to be a flood. There are multiple potential sea level rise impact zones within the region. The two I will be focusing on are bluffs and dunes. Structures specifically running along the coast have seen about 55 inches of risen water. Bluff erosion hazards is a type of broad and rounded cliff, usually bordering a river, beach, or other coastal area. Erosion of a bluff is natural as the top edge shifts landward. However, it can pose a threat when the proximity of the eroded bluff becomes a hazard to developed lands and buildings. Along the coast of the Pacific Ocean are dune erosion hazards. Coastal dunes are large, linear accumulations of sand. They're formed as wind blows and carry sediment along the beach towards land and can be seen as a threat if the level of sea rises. Weather reports, studies, and experts have found that these threats will become more extreme realities if climate change and global warming continue on their rapid paths. San Francisco may be able to temporarily deter the threat of rising sea level and flooding by sandbagging the coasts and hazard zones. Yet, this costs millions of money in time, effort, and resources, something which the city is not willing enough to put up. Only direct action will solve this environmental phenomenon. By drastically changing our day-to-day routine and making actual concrete efforts to reduce our ecological footprint en masse, we will be able to reverse the damages and destruction we have created. Next and final stop will be Los Angeles, California. A neighbor to our lovely Pasadena and the county of which we belong to, Los Angeles is infamously known for lying along the Pacific plate of the San Andreas fault line. However, recent discoveries have revealed 5 more: Santa Monica, Palos Verdes, Newport Inglewood, Puente Hills, and Hollywood fault lines. These findings have rapidly changed development patterns and caused the teardown of multiple structures. When tectonic plates, distinguished by fault lines, begin to rub against each other, the sudden release of energy causes seismic waves, making the ground shake. When these plates or rocks break, an earthquake occurs. These new discoveries in the county of Los Angeles have provided a more serious and strict approach towards earthquake safety. Sound structural plans must be implemented within new buildings. Earthquake safety courses and lessons are being taught throughout schools and communities. Additionally, government agencies and military leaders are working with city officials and experts on preparing a response to the threat of an earthquake through the execution of drills and studies.